Alright everybody, in this video today we are learning how to scan 35mm film negatives using your DSLR or any other camera you have. So if you're new to film photography and film scanning, you already have a DSLR at home or an old camera sitting around, you can use that to scan your negatives and actually get pretty good results because you can basically shoot in RAW and then you have RAW flexibility on a film negative and you can manipulate it and get the proper coloring and editing out of the negative that you want. You are going to need a couple tools. First of all, I found this kit on Amazon. It actually comes with a 35mm negative holder and then this little light, which it's got a little stand and you can kind of like, I don't know, it sits at a 45-degree angle and you're supposed to be able to like take pictures. I like to be a little bit more, when I'm scanning my negatives, I like to be a little more accurate. So what I do is, it does have a little tripod hole. And what I'll do is, I'll sit that on like a little Manfrotto like Pixie tripod. It just sits about this high. And I'll make sure it's like level, like 90 degrees kind of at a right angle. And then I'll have another tripod and kind of set up my camera with a macro lens. You can do it vertically as well. It might be a little bit easier to kind of like look through the viewfinder. However, my situation, I just kind of set it up this way, use live view. You can get critical focus on it and then snap away basically. I can get through a roll of like 36 frames in, once I have everything set up, probably less than 10 minutes. And that's like with switching all of these and kind of just constantly like putting them in here and switching them out. So it is pretty quick once you kind of get it down. This is pretty bright as well. So I just have it plugged in my computer here. But it gives you a little bit of a light and it's I think 95 CRI. I got it off Amazon. I'll put a link in the description as well. It's not an affiliate link. I don't make any money off this. This is just what I bought and I figured it'd help some people out. So anybody on a budget, I just wanted to try it out more so and see if I can get anything good out of it. And it works pretty well. You can turn it down and adjust the brightness as well, which is really handy. Yes, we're actually going to do a scan. I just got these negatives back, so we're going to do a quick scan using the DSLR, and then I'll talk about settings on the camera, and then we'll switch into Lightroom and show you how I actually convert the negatives into a positive image and where you get your colors accurate. And yeah, so let's just get straight into it. All right, so first off, I want this one. I was kind of really excited to see how this one was going to turn out. I shot Portrait 800. It was a neon night shoot in a very dark environment, and I was kind of curious on how it was going to turn out. So basically what you do is you're going to line up your film strip in between these little sprockets here. Lock it down. It's got little clips to lock it in place. And there you have it. So it's basically holds the negative inside. It keeps it pretty flat as well. Like if I'm just looking up at the light, just at a frame here, I don't see any warping with the film, which is good because you want your film as flat as you can. Get it, and then what you do is basically take this. I know I'm kind of doing this without my tripod setup, but so this actually fits in here, and it has locks as well, so you can kind of hear it. So you know you're lined up, and then basically you just have to take your image, and then that's it. For the tutorial of this video, I'm not going to set it up on my tripod. We're just going to get a quick shot out of this. I've already scanned a couple, so they're in the computer already, so you can see them, what they actually look like when you properly set it up. But for now, for the sake of speed in this video, we're just going to kind of speed through. So there you go. I'm just using a Nikon D7000. It's got the 18-55 lens. This actually has a really good macro mode. If you go to 55, I think my closest my closest focusing is right about here. So that's less than 6 inches away. I pretty much fill the frame with the negative, and it leaves just enough room for the film sprocket and to see what film you're using. So I can actually see the Kodak Portrait 800 tab in the top. Some people like to leave that in their images. Some people like to crop it out, but this kind of gives you the freedom to do it. If you have a macro lens, even better, but we're not trying to spend money on this one. This is kind of just for a DIY. Any of you out there that are just kind of starting out, need something cheap just to be able to scan at home. Maybe you have some old negatives sitting around from your parents or something and you want to see what's on them. So something like this is kind of gonna keep the budget low, but keep the fun high. So we're just gonna take a quick shot actually of this one. My settings are, and this pretty much stays the same for every single one. Auto white balance, it doesn't matter because we are shooting in RAW, so we will be able to change the white balance and actually take a white balance off of the negative itself after the fact. So it doesn't really matter. I kind of just do auto white balance, it's fine. F11, at least on a crop sensor camera, that'll just give you enough depth of field, because when you're this close, I think your depth of field is like 2 millimeters, which is really, really thin. So you want to make sure you at least get the thickness of the film strip itself, and that'll just ensure you get a nice sharp image. And then your shutter speed falls wherever it may. Mine's saying a 2/50th of a second right now. So once I kind of have that, ISO 100, I'm just going to lock everything in place. And then when I'm set up, I kind of just snap, move to the next frame, and so on and so forth. But let's just get a quick shot of this right now, and then we can jump into Lightroom. And that doesn't look too bad. Perfect. You know what? I'm gonna take a couple other ones because I already have it set up. Might as well. Right now we're just gonna jump straight into Lightroom and kind of go from there. All right, so here we are in Lightroom. Let's turn the brightness up a bit. Just go through and get the shots we want. Select those, import. Now I'll show you as well what I usually do, but we're gonna just for the video, instead of using presets and stuff, I'm just gonna start from scratch just to show you how I do it, and then I'll show you actually how to save your preset as well, just so it speeds up things for next time. So we're gonna go into develop. We're gonna get this one here. Make sure it's nice and sharp. All right. So before I forget, we're just gonna grab our white balance tool. We're gonna take a white balance reading off the actual film negative itself, and you'll see what this does in a second. Now we're gonna go down to our curves, and we're gonna grab the corner here, drag it to the bottom. We're gonna grab this one here, drag it to the top, and that's basically just inverted your image. Now, as you can see, it doesn't look the greatest. We're just gonna crop in real quick here as well, so we have it easier to kind of view. Now, some of it sometimes will look a little bit hazy like this. This is just my friend Theo. We were just shooting at a neon sign event. But what I like to do is right here, this is kind of be your secret sauce. So what you do is if you grab this bottom, I guess the blacks adjustment, and you drag it over to where this starts, right there just cleared up and took out so much editing. Thank me later, thank me now. But yeah, it takes out a lot of editing, and now what you can do is you can adjust your curves however you want. I'm gonna leave everything pretty basic right now. I'm actually not even gonna do this, and because I don't want to adjust too much because we're just making a preset right now, which we can later use for negatives in the future. I just want to make a preset right now for future negative scans. So we're just going to keep pretty much everything basic. But if you zoom in, you can see, first of all, how much detail. The color is a lot better. The blacks are black. I shot this, Portrait 800, 28 millimeter, 3.5. So I shot the Portrait 800 at ISO 400 and metered for the shadows, just to overexpose because there's so much detail I would have lost in these darker areas here. But being film and being a negative film, it can retain all these highlights and it just comes back so easily. So what I'm going to do here, you're going to go up to develop, new preset, and actually, before we do anything, we're just going to reset this just to give us a flat base. Basically, that's going to be our flat base right there, just for inversion. And we're going to go to develop, new preset, and we're going to call it Portrait 800 invert. Create. Now that that's created, we can go ahead and readjust everything, which I kind of like that there. And I love the colors from Portrait. I don't know, everyone loves 400. There's something about 800. It has a magic to it. It's just, it looks incredible. It really does. But yeah, now we can edit and adjust to our heart's content. The only thing to realize as well is everything's inverted. So exposure, light is going to be dark, dark is going to be light. Your whites are going to be your blacks, your shadows are your highlights, and your highlights are now your shadows. So what you can do is, if you want to keep it as a raw file, you got to deal with kind of adjusting things that way. So I'll show you here, like if I go highlights and try and bring them up, it actually brings down my shadows, and vice versa if I go the other way. But we're just going to keep editing here though. I don't want to export it and then have to re-import as a TIFF file just to have these sliders work correctly. But that's something you can do if you're not comfortable kind of working backwards. This honestly looks good as it is. I just want to adjust like the crop a little bit, straighten things out. And then, yeah, I mean, you can literally adjust colors. This sign here, I don't really want to change it. But you can make it blue if you want to. You can make it green. I like to keep it just as it is, just as the film stock kind of looks. It gives it its own sort of flavor, but you can treat it as a digital file and color correct if you need to. We're just going to go to the other ones here real quick as well. I know I'm kind of rambling on, but just to show you here, if I click this image, this was actually a mistake image from my friend Chelsea. We were just playing around with the camera and I actually didn't know I was already cocked with the film lever. So I shot the picture and you know what? I kind of like it. We're just going to go to film invert, Portrait 800. It's down at the bottom here. And yeah, it's simple as that. Your preset is now made. You can crop or you can leave it as is. We're just going to do that little trick again. We're going to take the slider down here. We're going to go right over to where the blacks start. And yeah, now you can adjust your midtones. And what, you know what? That looks pretty good on its own as well. This one, I think, I don't know if I like it. That's just the film doing its thing. And we're just going to go to these other ones real quick just to show you again. Portrait 800 invert. I'm not going to take the time to crop it, but we are just going to take the slider over to the blacks. Bring this up a bit. You can even dehaze if you want some more, add some more pop to it. Clarity. And that's it. So that's a quick down and dirty tutorial on how to DSLR film scan your film negatives. And I hope that helped. If it did, let me know in the comments below. If you want any other tips or tricks with film photography, let me know. Be glad to help. I've been shooting film for probably 20 years now, just under 20 years. I'm going to call it 20 years because why not? So yeah, super simple. Most of you already have a camera at home, so you don't have to go out and buy a scanner, and you can kind of get pretty good results. The good thing is, once you do this inversion for one film stock, call it the name for that film stock, and then because film stocks are consistent as far as like their color and their characteristics, it'll always have that same look. So I have one for Kodak Gold, I have one for Portra 400, now just this one, Portra 800, and then I think I have to work on a Nectar, and I have a Fuji Superia 400 as well, inversion. So that just saves so much time once you get the negatives all done and photographed. And then yeah, go ahead, play. And yeah, that's it. So hope you enjoyed that video. Hope it was a little bit helpful for anyone who's out there who's just getting into film photography or trying to figure out how to do their own scanning at home, save a couple bucks, because I know film is just getting crazy expensive, but is what it is. So yeah, if you want to save a little bit of money, do some scanning at home and have ultimate control over your scans, this is one way to do it. And yeah, if you decide to subscribe and follow along with the channel, that'd be greatly appreciated. And if you do, then we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.